is a bit different because now they give me DJ and CJ transactions. So now you need to keep in your head, please remember, DJ transactions is credit sales, if I sell on credit. CJ transactions is when I buy on credit. So I remember it like this. CJ, can you see it looks like a K if I put a line? And in Afrikaans, if I say koop, it's equal to buy. You see? You see, CJ? You see? Okay. So, I'm first going to do the DJ for us. So I'm going to start by writing in. It's of Big 5 Curio. Do you know what's a curio shop? Okay, so curio shop is those shops that's opened. It's literally shops that cater to tourists. It's shops that cater for tourists. So in other words, it would be shops with little sugar table spoons, and shops with t-shirts, and shops with earrings, and key holders. If you go to the airport, there's a lot of curio shops there. Right, because it's basically, if a tourist comes to our country, they want to buy something to take back, which reminds them of our country. So it would be like mugs with a lion's head on top. So it's shops like that. That's a curio shop. So now, they say the date is November 2013, right? And I see it's November, so it's DJ 11. My headings is always sales and cost of sales. So now I see sold goods, sold DJ, and it's an invoice 45 to Rademeyer. Okay? Yes? I cannot hear. I made this a 11 because I assume my business starts in January. So January would be 1, February 2, March 3. So this is the 11th DJ I'm doing this year. So Rademeyer, it's 1,003. Cost of sales is 66, and we said we must remember it works the same as the 33.3. Okay, so I'm going to say 1,300 times 100 divided 166.6 repeating, and that gives me what? 7? Ah, thank you. Okay, next one. I need us to be quiet because I'm taping this. Yes. Transaction 2 is a CJ, ne? This 11th, this is a CJ. 14. Now 14 has got 2 journals in it. If you look here, you will see we receive goods on credit. You agree with me? That's a CJ. Okay. But then there's a second part, and the second part says we sold it to Fox. So can you see there's a DJ and a CJ? So the DJ part is this yellow one, eh? I'm going to highlight it here so that you can see it's that one there. So the next invoice is going to be 46. On the 11th, it's for Fox. But now they don't give me any price. But if I read here, can you see they say we received goods on credit for 300 Rand. And then we take that goods and we sell it We take that goods and we sell it. So, can you see that 300 is going to be my cost of sales? You see that? Okay, so now I've got the cost because I paid 300 rand for it. But am I going to sell it for 300? No. So now please look at this calculation. Now it's going to flip. It has to be 46 because this is the only transaction following. This is a CJ, this is a CJ. So why would you write 47, my baby? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So you know what's actually easier to do? Can I give you a tip? You don't put anything in the documents. Once you're done, you go and you look, what was the first one? 45, and then you just say 46, 47, 48, 49. Okay. Yeah, but this is a CJ, so it's working with other documents. Okay, other set. Remember, in your journal, the numbers of the documents must always follow. Okay, and you never count 1, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Okay, so now it's more important for me that you get this right. So now I'm going to take the 300 and now I'm working it backwards. So I'm going to flip the calculation. So I'm going to say 166.6 repeating over 100. Can you see? It's now the other way around, meaning the amount that I'm going to get here is more than 300. Anybody with an amount for me? Why? Because now, okay, I'm going to show you the calculation, the method behind the madness. Okay, so it works like this. I have a cost price. Then I add profit to the cost price, and it gives me the selling price. I'm not answering questions now. Let me first just explain. Okay, now, on what do I calculate the profit? On the cost price. You agree with me? So in other words, I know the cost price and now I put profit on it. So the cost price will always be, if I give it a weight, I will say it weights 100. Okay. What's the profit? The profit is 66.6. So it means my selling price is 166.6. Right. So now I'm going to say, we call this the UK method. The U stands for unknown over known. So I take now the 300. So what is the 300? Is the 300 the cost price or the selling price? It's the selling price. What is it? Look where it is. In which column is the 300? The cost. And the cost is 100. So the 300 is known at the bottom. What is unknown? The selling price. Now, can I just quickly want to, while I'm doing this, I want you to quickly think to the trading discount. Remember when we do trading discount? If I do trading discount, I usually say 100 less the discount over 100. Ne? The amount times that. Can you see it's the same principle? It's 100 plus the markup. Same principle.
So if I given cost of sales, we use that method?
Yes. So you can literally see, if they gave me sales, ne? Now if I take that 1,003, let's quickly look at that. What is known? What is known? That 1,003, is it the selling price or the cost price? Look, it's the selling price. That's why the 166 is at the bottom. What are we looking for? The cost price. What's the cost price? Can you see if I wanted to calculate, and now you can play with this formula so lekker. If I say to you, calculate for me with that 300, calculate for me the profit. So what are you going to change? There's only one thing here you're going to change.
Profit percentage on cost price. So we take, since 300 is the cost price, we take it and then we subtract.
Now, wait, listen to what I'm asking. Can you see here? The 300 times 166 over 100 gave me what? The selling price. Now, if I've got this formula and I tell you you can change one thing to get the profit, what would it be? I no longer want the selling price, I want the profit. So, which one am I going to swap? The 166 I'm going to swap. I'm going to make it 66 over 100. You see? If I did this one here, and I asked you, okay, calculate for me here the profit, which one is going to change? Yeah. What did we calculate here? We calculated the cost. Now I'm asking you, don't calculate the cost. In other words, don't use the 100. What are you going to use? The 66. Can you see? It's always so the figure and the weight is of the same thing. So this is both sales. And the one that's on the top is the one I'm looking for. So you can literally calculate anything with that. It's a very exciting formula. Okay. Now, question. I can't expect you to calculate something with no information. I have to give you some information. So usually, can you see here, you have to get an unknown and a known. So, let me say it again. They have to give you something known to get the unknown. They can't give you just unknowns. Does that answer your question? You sure? Okay. So, what is my sales? 400 and 479 point. So it's 499.8. Okay, so you're going to round it off to 500. Nee? And now, quickly take your calculator and work it back. If I say 500, how will I calculate the 300? Now I'm just going to swap it back again. I'm going to say 500 times 100 divided 166. Can you see? Then this is just going to flip. I need you guys to understand this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write you a little note. Listen. It's either going to be this. It's either going to be the sales. Please stop talking. Times 100 over 100 plus the markup. Okay? And that will give me the cost of sales. That's the one. If they give you the cost of sales, now can you see this thing here? It's just going to flip. This is going to flip. So now I'm going to say 100 plus the markup over 100. And that's going to give me the sales. So if you think about it, sales is the bigger amount between sales and cost of sales. So if I want sales, I put the big percentage on top. If I want cost of sales, I put the small percentage at the top. You guys sharp? So now the next one, I look, the 20th. So now I'm having 47, the 20th, Madiba, and it's 2,800. And can you see now they give me sales, which means I want cost of sales. So the 100 is on top, the 166 is at the bottom, and that gives me what? 1681. Okay. Then I see again, I sold goods on the 24th. Can we not talk when we work? Again, Rademeyer, 7,400. Again, they give me sales. I need to calculate cost of sales. So again, I'm going to say sales, because this one is given, times 100 over 166. Okay, and that gives me what? Say again. 44? Like that?
Yes.
Okay. And this is everything. Now I need to total. Yes, baby? How did I guess? This one. I don't know. I listened to her. Let's quickly go look. Please stop talking. Okay, I just want to put it like this that you can see. So it's 2008, ne? Times 100 divided 166.66666666666 equals 1680. Okay, so it's just 80. So you just didn't put enough 6's. That's all. Well done. Okay, let's total. So the creditors journal, again, I say creditors journal of Big 5 Curio, and it's November 2013, eh? And it would be CJ 11. I always know the first column is creditors control, because, and I need you to remember this now, because it's a CJ, the creditors control is number 1. If it's CPJ, what would be the first column? Bank. Well done. I'm excited for your accounting marks this time. So, they tell me that I must open up trading stock and packing material. And now I know I renumber. This is the one that I renumber. So if I look at 11, it says, we received an invoice from T-shirt for T-shirts bought on account. Now, we are a curio shop, so we sell T-shirts that says, I was in Pretoria, my uncle was in Pretoria, and all I got was this T-shirt. Ne? That's not a tourist thing. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to calculate 34,000 times, now let's quickly think. If I get 12% discount, if I give 12% discount, how much do I actually owe? What is 100 minus 12? 88. So what does that give me? $29,980. Okay, it looks very weird, but it is 29920. Okay, so now I need to go and I need to put it here. So it's 29920 20. And I want you to see that the control and the stock is exactly the same. And I also want you to see that I didn't put the discount anywhere. And I also didn't put the original amount anywhere. Can you see that? Okay. And the shop is T-shirt. And it's the 11th. And what's the number? Did they give me a re-number? Let's quickly make sure. They say re-number 115. Okay. So, next one. I'm just going to do that. So the next one is that one of the 300 that I buy from Gooks. Right? 14. Can you see goods, which is also trading stock, from Gooks. So it's the 14th. And I renumbered it to 116. It's Gooks. And it's 300 Rand stock. Okay. Buddha. Next. I see on the 20th, I have an invoice from RX for goods. Again, it's trading stock. And can you see again, I get trade discount. So this is going to be 66,000 times what over 100? Who can tell me? 96. And how did I get the 96? 100 minus the 4. Okay. So this is RX. And RX is the 20th. No, what's the date? The 20th. And it's 117. And what's the amount? 66? Okay, say it nicely for me. 6? Okay. So it's 63,360. And can you see? It's in both columns, 63,360. They are exactly the same. Yes. Why? 100 less the 4% discount. Okay. So, next one. So now we are with the 28th. And they say Radebe delivers new display cabinets. What's a display cabinet? Yes, because if I sell things that can break easily, or that's very small, it can be stolen easily, or that's very expensive and easy to steal, then I want to put them behind glass. And most probably I want to lock it. So I have a display cabinet. So a display cabinet would literally be this shelves I've got here with glass in front. That's a display cabinet. Okay. So why do I buy a display cabinet? Oh, of course. I want to display my goods. Right. So now, what do I classify display cabinets as? Equipment. No, it's definitely equipment. Now, he delivers for me cabinets 22,000. So it's going to be Radebe 22,000. And if I look, can you see there's not a column for equipment? So I have to go to the sundry, the other accounts. Sundry just means other. So all the other accounts that doesn't have its own column. So I put it in 22,000 equipment. And it's 118. And the date is what? 20? And that's the last one. And then we just need to total. Can I quickly say this to you again? If I now have an extra transaction there. And I say, Radebe charged 200 Rand delivery fee. What would my amount be? 22,200. And would I add it to equipment, or would I have a separate 200 that says delivery? Remember, if stuff is delivered to me, it makes whatever I bought more expensive. So how much did that cabinet cost me to get it there in my shop? 22,200. So I add the 200 to the cost price. You guys get me? If I buy a computer, can I do anything with this computer if it doesn't have certain software installed on it? No. And that software, you need to buy it. So you need to buy Office and Windows and all of those things. Now, if I buy that computer and I need to install certain software on it, can you see that computer costs more than just what I paid for it? So can you see that installation of that software, I would add it to the price of the computer, because I can't work. I can't work if it's not on there. Okay, so let's just total this quickly. So this is 22, and then this is what?
93580.
And then this is?
115580.
Okay. Quickly do for me. Okay, now we have to start with the posting,